Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a video here today titled Gen Z has a dating problem. Now, before I jump into this video, dating is a problem these days, not just for Gen Z. I don't care which age bracket you're in, it is absolutely horrible out there, particularly in Western countries. Now, today's video was sent to me by Matrix of Madness. I'm going to leave the original video creator and Matrix linked in the pinned comments, so make sure you check them out. Let's jump right into the video.
Gen Z have been done dirty when it comes to dating.
I fucking hate dating apps.
Dating apps are by far the biggest waste of time.
We're living in a generation where 49% of people think how much you earn matters more than your looks. Dating app culture has created an environment where people have so many options that no one wants to commit. And people's views of dating is more polarizing than ever.
I love how we always have this view, right? That everybody on dating applications has options, right? And everybody is treating each other like they're an option. No, not everybody has options. You know who has all the options? The top percentage of men, which is a very few amount, and the majority of women. These are the people who are terrible at dating, who will ditch you if they find a better option. So what you have is you have a whole group of women, pretty much all women, complaining about a small section of men. And then you have dudes who are like, well, all of the women are treating me terribly. So this isn't like an even issue where everybody has options. It doesn't work like that. The average man is getting screwed over, but nobody wants to say it.
To ignore her, bro.
I am so tired of feeling like it's never gonna be my turn to find love.
Don't talk to her. Don't text her for a week. You're gonna be amazed at what happens next.
These are some very bare minimum standards to be setting, and why does it feel so impossible for them to meet?
Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about, okay? It's not impossible for these men that you're chasing to meet your standards. It's just that they have no reason to meet them. This is a woman right here, guys, like many of these modern women these days, who is complaining that, listen, why won't men commit to me? I can't find any nice, good man. I just want a man to do the bare minimum. The part that they leave out is they're always chasing the attractive dudes. And if you don't believe me, guys, I believe Tinder's swiping statistics are public. It shows it's like 95-5. And what I mean by that is women are selecting the top 5% of dudes on these apps, who, by the way, this is pretty damn objective, so it is the same 5%. And these dudes have no reason to commit to these women whatsoever. And so you end up with videos like this. The average man is completely invisible. These women do not want a man who is on their level. They think that they're above him. They're settling if they get him. They want the nice boy treatment, the romantic treatment from a guy who's super attractive.
One side of the internet will tell you that women are too picky and need to lower their standards, whilst the other side says that women aren't picky enough and need to raise their standards.
Attractive women cannot afford to date down.
How attractive a woman is directly correlated to how faithful they'll be in a relationship.
I don't really care if this sounds mean. I can't respect a man who's done worse at life than me. How did you do worse in a system that was designed to help you do better?
Yeah, guys, you know, men have it easier out there in the workforce, you know. With all of these DEI hires, by the way, I would argue that actually women are encouraged to be in more powerful positions, especially these days. It's like if you have a man and a woman who's equally qualified, a lot of these places will take the woman because they know it makes them look better. Now, there are some companies who have some sense and who understand that this might be a HR disaster, so they won't do that. But in general, guys, you know, you have these women who are saying it's so much easier for men to get paid more. This is a woman who refuses to date men who do not earn as much money as her. The absolute classic, guys. And then she wonders why she's single. Okay, go out there and make 100K and then complain that dudes who make 150 won't date you. It's not my problem. Right? You're pricing yourself out of the market. Have fun with that one.
Some people think that women have it worse with hookup culture, situationships, whilst other parts of the internet think that men have it worse.
Dating apps are uniquely depressing from a guy's perspective because you send out all these likes, then only a fraction of those likes turn into matches.
Why is it so hard to find a man who respects you and your time?
I feel like most people on dating apps use the app as like an ego boost, and they don't actually care about going out on a date or meeting up with someone.
Men have just turned dating apps into like an easier way to access convenient sex.
We have never...
You know what? I'll actually agree with this woman right here. The top percentage of men have definitely done this. They have turned these women, who are apparently oh so perfect, into essentially Uber Eats meals, like Uber meals. So, like, and again, the women didn't have to allow this to happen. right? They didn't have to go on these dating apps and just randomly end up in these dudes' beds. The reason why men do this, the top percentage of men just treat it like they can order you to your house and it's just convenient bedroom fun for them, is because the women allow it. Now, this doesn't mean that it's right on the men's behalf, but it certainly doesn't mean that it's right on the woman's behalf, especially considering women. It's not like women are forced to choose these men. You know what I'm saying? Like, women have an ocean of options, but they choose the options who clearly, very clearly, only want one thing from them. Now, you'll always have these women who say, I was deceived and I just didn't know. Here's a surefire way to know. If you can't get commitment from the man before you have intimacy, then you can't get with the dude. You're already off to a losing start, man. If you have to try and convince the dude with your body to get into a relationship, I mean, you're going to struggle. All of these girls out here, guys, they go into situationships for 3 months with the dude, and then they're like, you know what? Now I'm going to push for a relationship, and of course the dude doesn't want one. It's actually comedy.
Dating apps into like an easier way to access convenient sex.
We have never been at more polar opposite ends of the spectrum, but trust me when I say this is literally just the tip of the iceberg. Hey, if you're new, I'm Christina and I make videos for people who are feeling lonely. If you're a people pleaser, overachiever, over anything out, you're in the right place. There's a whole side of the internet that I've come across that are very anti-men. Not anti-men like men are trash sort of way, but more so I'm living such a peaceful, happy, chilled life without a man in my life that I don't need a man. I'm happy with my friends, happy with my family, happy with my job. I'm so chilled and zen. There's that side of the internet that I see, but then there's also the side of the internet that says like, this is my prime. I'm 25. I want to settle down. I'm ready to have kids. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for that. And they can't find someone that they want. I've made a video.
Yeah, so what women try and do, guys, I think this woman is being a little bit generous here. They start making these videos after they're 25. It's always the women who are going into their 30s, right? Who are 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. And these are the women who are complaining that now they're looking to settle down and they can't find a real man. Okay. And as for all of the women previously who are saying, I don't need a man, I can do everything myself. Great. We'll check back in with you when you're 32, 33. And we can have a laugh at your content when you're crying about how you need a man because you don't want to work anymore and because things in your house keep breaking and you need someone to fix it. Right? This is how, guys, this is how I don't run out of content, because the same women who sit there and say, I don't need a man, become content for the channel. It really is, a fantastic machine that we have going here, because there are endless amounts of women. So I never run out of videos. I mean, it's a win-win situation here.
On why Gen Z is undateable and how there's so many different things as a generation that we struggle with that make it really hard for us to find the right person. This is kind of a follow-up, but more a follow-up of just like how opposing our views are and how it makes perfect sense that we're struggling to date. Like the culture of men on dating apps and the culture of women on dating apps, the perceptions that we all have of each other is just totally different. And I feel like that's why a lot of us are just struggling right now. This comment that I saw summarized hookup culture so well. Dating for women is like shopping. Dating for men is like a job interview. I understand that men are struggling a lot on the apps because it's like, you have to be really attractive and really tall and you have to present yourself a certain way.
And there it is. Right? You have to do all of these things or be all of these things, which, mind you, a lot of this is genetic. Or else you get no matches. And if you do get matches, they're always really unattractive women, or they will just treat you like trash and ignore you if they're not. So this is the crux of it, right? The average man completely screwed over, complete waste of time. Now, are there things you can do to improve your looks? Yes. Right? Not saying there isn't. I think that dudes should be taking care of their health. They should be going to the gym. They should try, to look better and things like this. It's going to help you in work and such, right? Being taken seriously. But at the end of the day, if you're not a Giga Chad, you're not a Giga Chad. And you're not going to have nearly the amount of options, if any, of these dudes who are at the top. So, that's the way it is. But guys, and women will try and be like, yeah, so I understand this problem, but the women have it hard because blah, 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 blah. No, women do not have it difficult. They simply do not have dating difficult. Nobody can convince me, guys, I don't think, that women have dating difficult in any capacity. Now, do they run the risk of being treated like a hookup? Yes. Can they completely circumnavigate that? Absolutely. very, very, very easily. You know, a guy can't just grow multiple inches, but a woman can say no instantly. It's not that damn difficult.
Otherwise, you get no matches. Like, it's really common for a guy to go on a dating app for like a few weeks and swipe on people, but literally have 0 matches, which as a girl, you can literally be an average looking girl and that will not be the case. Whether that's like quality matches is a whole different ballgame. I don't want people in the comments to be angry and be like, it's just not fair, like women get it easier, da da da. Trust me when I say the quality of matches is not giving. Dating for
Yeah, so the quality of matches is not giving. Why? Because his photos are not good enough. Let's have a look at your swiping habits then. If women want to get on dating apps, right? You go on there, you literally, if you're in a metropolitan area as a woman, you will have thousands of options. You mean to tell me that there are no quality options whatsoever? There's just none. And I'm sorry, but let's be honest about it. Women are judging quality matches by the quality of your pictures. I mean, that's just the way it is, okay? They're saying, listen, these guys, the attractive ones, they're quality. But the rest of them, you know, he's fishing. I don't like fishing. This photo isn't good. This guy's, you know, too short, and so on and so forth, okay? So it really is a matter of entitlement with the amount of options that women have. I have said this on the channel before, guys, but you can literally give a man like 5 options with women, as long as they're not obese, and he will make 2 of them work, 3 of them work, maybe even 4. He'll be like, yeah, I could see myself with her, and her. Yeah, they've got some things that annoy me a bit, but overall, I could probably go with a couple of them. Women, you can give them like 1,000 options, and they'll pick like 10. And they'll be like, yeah, I can see myself with those 10. The rest, you know, they're just not quality enough. Like, get out of here.
women is like shopping, dating for men is like a job interview. Again, I feel like the shopping analogy is a good one. I feel like that does paint the picture very well. It just shows that women have a lot more options. For me and my friends, when we talk about the apps and we show each other the matches and we show each other the messages and then like the pics, it's just like the quality on dating apps. Sometimes I feel like there's a whole load of stuff on the clearance rack. Like, you're shopping, sure, but a lot of it is just on sale and maybe has holes in. It's not very good quality. You're trying to find an item that's like a high quality item. It's not in the sale. It's good quality. It's not reduced. It's actually worth the price. I just feel like that is the struggle that maybe a lot of women have.
Yeah, you're chasing the very attractive men, right? And the men who get on these applications and quite literally gamify it. Okay, there are men who get on these applications and they know how to dial it in. They literally treat it like, you know, they just Uber you to their house and it's done and dusted because they know how to do this. You think the average man, like, for example, you know, there are dudes who teach this crap online. You think that the average man really has like he does not put the same amount of effort or knowledge into photography, and even if he did, that doesn't necessarily guarantee any matches whatsoever. Women can sit in this position and they can say, well, the matches just aren't quality and blah 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 blah, but they're talking about the attractive men. You have to be very attractive, you have to take high quality photos and all of these things. And you know, dudes are not, let me paint it to you this way as well, dudes are not as interested in social media as women are. Trying to get a man to take his digital image seriously as well, this is something that a lot of guys really, really don't value. But again, even if they did, that wouldn't guarantee them matches. So there's a reason why a lot of guys are opting out of this. And there's a reason as well, if a man can get a lot of options, he will start to treat these women like options. Because the men who got overlooked, they don't forget about this. They remember it, and then they treat you the same way that they were treated.
In terms of hookup culture in general, I know that's a huge thing that makes people struggle with dating. I've not really gotten involved with hookup culture. It's not really my thing. I do know it's just a guaranteed way to get into maybe a situationship. And that's something that a lot of women struggle with right now, is like, guys want the benefits, the circumstances, and the feeling of a relationship, but then they don't really want the label of one. I don't know if it's just me, but
they don't want the feeling of the relationship. They really don't. They just want to have fun, and then they want to see you later. I mean, that's the way it is. I don't know, what is this woman saying here? Also, she says the hookups aren't really for her. She's not really interested in this kind of thing, but she chats to her friends about dating apps. Sounds to me like her friends are single and she's single because they're still on dating applications. So it just sounds to me like she is, you know, one of these women who are still out here being left high and dry because Chad won't pick her. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe she's in like a happy marriage or something like this. but it certainly does seem to me like this is exactly the type of woman that we're talking about, who sit on these dating applications, who only want the top percentage of men. Now, I'm happy if I'm wrong about this, but that's what it seems like.
I also feel like men are just sick of women and women are just sick of men.
Half of Gen Z men no longer actively even trying to date. They're not even trying. And so the question is, well, why is that happening for women? Women, first off, are dating older. They want more economically and emotionally viable men, and that usually means older men. In addition, when young women are lonely, they have much better social networks. They have much stronger friend networks, whereas guys become kind of lone wolves and kind of literally sequester from everyone and everything.
What he said about women having the social networks and when they get lonely, I guess they have friends, I totally see that. I literally saw a girl, I think I'm probably going to watch her video next. I literally saw a girl kind of complaining about the male loneliness epidemic. Maybe not complaining, but she was definitely like having a rant where she basically said like, I don't feel bad for men. She was saying like, whose fault is this? The patriarchy. You guys created this system and now you're not happy with it. If you don't open up, it's not our fault. Women actually open up.
Ah, yes, the patriarchy. You know why men don't open up? Number one, because they're punished for doing it. You know, people will tell men to open up all the time, and that's the reason why their mental health is so bad and this and that. But men actively get punished for opening up about their feelings. Men notice a significant drop in attraction from the women that they are seeing at any given time when they are emotionally vulnerable, right? That's number one. Number two, people don't care. They literally do not care about your problems, specifically as a man. As a woman, you'll always have that shoulder to cry on, that someone to tell about it, right? Men, it's like if you say your issues, nobody cares. It's like, okay, I mean, are you working? Like you'll say your very serious problem, and then in the next sentence, somebody will be like, "Oh yeah, okay, you know, how's work going?" And that'll be the depth of the discussion. Nobody gives a damn. They really, absolutely do not. Now, I actually think there's a silver lining here for dudes, which is that understanding that nobody's going to help you, nobody's going to save you. This is quite a liberating thing, to be honest, right? You can take accountability for your own feelings and things like this and learn not to rely on other people. I do think there's a silver lining there, but there are certainly reasons why men don't open up about their feelings. People will often say that men don't have feelings. No, we absolutely do. We just don't want to share them with women, you know?
Women open up to their friends. I think a huge problem with a lot of these things is that people are so general. Like there's such a generalization. Even just saying like women have social networks. A lot of women don't. Like so many women have toxic friends, or so many women, I feel like they literally don't have any friends. All they have is their family.
Yeah, those are still social networks. So when people like myself, for example, I make content on this sort of stuff, right? When I make generalizations, or when other people make generalizations, I have zero problems with generalizations as long as they're accurate. Okay? And I think that's a pretty accurate generalization. If you go out there and say, well, women typically, in general, always have a shoulder to cry on, they have a network of friends, I think that's pretty accurate. Now, whether or not the friendship is toxic and all of this sort of thing, I think most women's friendships are toxic, so I could agree with you on that. I think generalizations are totally fine because they are generalizations. By definition, they are not always accurate. They are just in general. People always bring up this thing. They just hate generalizations. Oh, generalizations, you know, I don't like it. Not all women are like that, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, of course, but it's a generalization, you see?
Maybe they don't even have their family. It's such a generalization. And then, you know, the girl that was talking about, I don't feel bad for men, like men need to open up and stuff. Like some men do open up. Some, like, all these things are so general that they actually don't even make any sense after a while. Because
yeah, some men do open up, but eventually they learn not to do it anymore because nobody cares, and also you get treated negatively for doing it. So again, men stop the behaviors that they're not rewarded for. Again, this is why things like chivalry go away. This is why the romance is going away, because men get punished for doing these things. I mean, I've made this point multiple times, guys, but try showing up to a date. You know, try going on a first date after you meet a woman on your dating application and bring flowers. She's going to think you're so weird, man. She is going to think you are so damn weird. A lot of women are going to think that you're a freak right off the bat. And then they wonder why dudes don't want to be romantic anymore. Or the dudes that, you know, do give them all of these things, they just ignore them anyway. His photos aren't good enough on dating applications. He's not a quality match. Like, get out of here.
It's like you're talking about a small group of people and then painting it as if like the whole gender is that way. In the comments of this video, people were saying, I can't afford a girlfriend. You've got to be making 100K a year to afford a girlfriend now. Rather just focus on myself. It feels as if love is dead. No loyalty, no authenticity, no love, no friendship. Everything is an ick or a red flag these days. I'd rather be alone than have my feelings be used against me down the line. That one's a bit sad. Facts, I'm 22 and completely have stopped looking at women. I'm sure there's truth to all of this. I'm not even going to dispute that. But honestly, I feel like it's the same on both ends. It's not just men that are giving up and thinking like, I've given up on women. Like, women have absolutely given up on men as well.
Julia Fox in an interview talked about how she's not dating men anymore. I do think this is part of a larger trend within a lot of women online and just women in general of like giving up on men, giving up on relationships, just reverting back to what feels safe. I'm never gonna date men ever again. Like when my friend says that to me, like I wanna, go deeper into that. And like, will that really make you? And maybe it will.
Dating used to be a bit disappointing.
No. So what's going to happen? I really want to stress this. I've seen so many of these videos that she's talking about. Oh, I'll never date men again. The dating apps are horrible. And then you flash forward like 4 months and the woman's seen another 10 dudes off the dating applications. These women always get back on the dating apps, guys. You can't keep them away from the attention, from the validation, and from that very, very slim potential relationship with Chad, which they'll never get. Okay, women say that they give up, guys, but they really don't. They return to these dating applications and they return to these dating sites because that's where all of their options are. Now, they are unable to distinguish between what a real option is and what isn't a lot of the time, but they still return there. Every single video, guys, I have seen of a woman saying that she's quitting dating or she's quitting the apps, she always goes back. This is like a woman announcing that she's quitting Instagram. It just doesn't happen, man. It just doesn't.
And that's normal, but now it just feels overly traumatic. I want to be in love, but I'm tired. I'm a single 31-year-old and I'm done. Something isn't right with men. It took me 4 years of no men to realize I'm safer and happier solo. My time away from men, I experienced exponential growth in every area of my life because I was no longer held back. My thing is, I wonder how long this will last because ultimately you can kind of ignore women. Like, I want to focus on myself. Let me just kind of sort out my career, focus on myself. And as a woman, you can say, I'm just happier alone. I've got my friends. I don't need a man in my life. We can all say that, but at the core, we will all crave some level of companionship. And I don't necessarily mean a relationship per se, because we're social creatures. Like, we need connection with other people. We need companionship and to be part of a tribe. It's the reason why, like, your life could be going perfectly. Like, you can have the career that you want. You can focus on your career, make the money, or you can, like, I don't know, like, things could be thriving for you. But if you don't have either really close friends or you don't have a relationship, you would feel like something is missing. Because
have you guys noticed that some of my videos have gone missing over here on YouTube? That is because I am slowly moving them over to locals where I can actually host them without the risk of getting in trouble. If you are not aware, many creators are starting to move over to places like locals, Rumble, etc. because YouTube is not really a free speech platform. So if you are interested in supporting the channel and getting access to videos that are no longer available here, make sure that you come and join us over on Locals. The link will be in the video description down below. Supporters get access to their own exclusive videos that are no longer available to the public. So make sure you go to the link in the description and join us over there now. But anyway, guys, back to today's episode. I mean, men oftentimes have close friends. They just normally have like 1 to 3 of them. We don't have these giant social circles because we realize that these aren't even real friends. But women will have an absolutely gigantic social circle, and yet they'll all dislike each other. Men will have 3 friends, and then that'll be it. From like, very, very early on in their education, for example. They'll have those friends since they were in school. They'll have that same 1 to 3 to 4 group of friends, and then they'll rock with that. And if one of them doesn't like you, then they stop being friends, and you know that the person doesn't like you. Women, it's the complete opposite. They'll have hundreds of followers on these social media applications. They'll have all of these different friends, and none of them can stand each other. Again, generalization, but you get my point here. Okay, so dudes are chilling. A lot of guys are absolutely chilling, they've got a small group of friends, or they're by themselves most of the time. And being alone doesn't necessarily mean you're lonely, especially for dudes, especially ones who have some sort of hobby.
That we like it or not, it is, I'm sure it's on like Maslow's hierarchy of needs to have like some level of companionship or like connection with other people, respect from other people, relationships. Like you do need it as a human. It's not even like a want. You don't even want a relationship. It gets to the point where you will actually just need one. And I don't mean need like you need it to survive. You can live your whole life being single. You can literally die single. Like you don't need a relationship per se. And I know that contradicts what I've just said, but like there's always going to be something like in your heart telling you like there's something missing from my life. With that being said, I think it's healthy to have a single period of your life. Like I love how people are talking about focusing on themselves and like just doing things for them, because I think if you have a busy, thriving life outside of your relationships, I feel like you can then come to a relationship as a much more whole person. Like,
yes, that's what I want. I want a woman who's had a single period of her life where she's been incredibly industrious. No, see, usually the translation for that is she has gone out there, she's a career woman, she's established, which again, I want to emphasize this, men do not care about your money, and you've had a period of being single. Now, let's be real about this, okay? Let's be 100% honest. Do you think that the women who have these single periods where they work on themselves, do you think that they're celibate during this time? I would argue they're not. So this is what a lot of women do, okay? Throughout their early 20s, they live that single life, even the mid-20s. They live that single life. They go out there, they work these jobs. They say that they're not dating, but to be honest, they just failed to get relationships this entire time. And then they get to 30 and then they have these epiphanies and now they're looking for a good man. I mean, we've seen it all before. But guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, remember to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.